Nasie in gesprek met trots aan jou gebring deur Adblue, Engen, Graan SA, Hinterland, M-Web en Senwes.
Emissions. Overseas, this has become a major issue with regard to people's health, the environment, acid rain, smog, pollution, and all the common things you would find in a city. These issues have, to a certain degree, been addressed in the petrol engine of passenger cars, where they introduced what is known as a catalytic converter. And one will remember several years back the issue, we had to remove the lead out of petrol to get these catalysts to work. The problem being with the lead in the petrol, it would damage and coat the catalyst, and the catalyst could not operate. Thinking ahead and looking at the trends overseas, the diesel engine has now come into the spotlight. And in this market, the agri market, the diesel engine is probably one of the most commonly used engines. It's used in combines, trucks, buckies, tractors. The effect on the manufacturer overseas having to change the design of his engines to achieve extremely low levels of emissions. These engines will start entering into the South African market in the next few years. Certain transporters and truck manufacturers have already introduced these vehicles. There were several theories as to how one could address the emission problem. The manufacturers redesigned the engines. They tried various technologies through tuning the engine of its injection timing, using devices like exhaust gas recirculation units, all in the effort to bring down the nitrous oxide levels, the particulate matter levels, and also the hydrocarbon emissions. The way to achieve these extremely low emission levels, for instance, the new emission level Euro 6, which was just promulgated in January 2014, that's how new it is. To achieve these extremely low levels of emissions, the engineers working for the original equipment manufacturers have conceded that the only possible way of achieving these low emissions is to fit what is known as a selective catalytic reduction unit. Basically, what this unit does is it disassociates the nitrogen and the oxygen, so you don't have nitrous oxides, you actually have pure nitrogen. It then takes the oxygen and puts it on the carbon monoxide, which is a toxic gas atom or compound, turning it into carbon dioxide. The balance of the hydrocarbons and the oxygens are turned into harmless water. So basically, instead of having nasty emissions coming out the exhaust of the diesel engine, you have water, carbon dioxide, and nitrogen, which is pretty well bland. To get this unit to operate, one requires what is known as Adblue. The technical name for Adblue is AUS 32, standing for Aqueous Urea Solution 32%. In America, they call it diesel emission fluid, but commonly in Europe and South Africa it's known as Adblue. This compound is injected into the exhaust before the catalyst, and it reacts in the catalyst, producing the nitrogen, water, and carbon dioxide. The Adblue, being a urea solution in water or solubilized in water, sounds very simple. As all farmers know, that urea is ammonium nitrate, and ammonium nitrate is a fertilizer. There's a slight catch to this situation. The urea used in Adblue is an extremely pure urea. It is mixed in the actual refinery before it is prilled, or any biorets, which farmers will be aware of, are added. Adblue, being a solution of 32% urea, pure urea, and distilled water or deionized water, sounds like a simple mixture. It would be easy for a farmer to think that urea being ammonium nitrate, you could simply take ammonium nitrate fertilizer and mix it with rainwater, being considered to be very pure water. This will not work, as the catalytic reduction or selective catalytic reduction unit costs in the region of 225,000 Rand for a 300 horsepower engine. It will be foolhardy to actually risk having to replace this unit by virtue of it being fouled up by the impurities in the agricultural urea. This reduction of emissions, apart from being a global phenomena, is in alignment with the government's future introduction of the Clean Fuels Act number 2, and also the introduction of newer low emission vehicles into the industry, which is very good for the environment and also for one's own personal health.
Nasie in gesprek met trots aan jou gebring deur Adblue, Engen, Graan SA, Hinterland, Mweb en Senwes.